Okay, well, thank you for having us here. Can you tell us what Sniper Ghost Warrior is all about?
Sniper Ghost Warrior has really stepped up from previous incarnations of the game. The title implies a little bit more than just a name, but much more of a playing style. Sniper Ghost Warrior refers to three playing styles that gives you a really balanced approach to this game. It's not a typical run and gun shooter. It's a lot more cerebral. Not to say it's a dry simulation, but it is a little bit of a thinking game.
Okay, so over the past years, you've had some fierce competition from Sniper Elite, and are you stepping away from sniping and looking more at what Call of Duty is doing, for example?
I would say we've definitely expanded maybe some of your abilities in the game. I wouldn't necessarily say that we are going to try and become the next Call of Duty or Battlefield per se, but we are trying to open up player opportunities.
And that being said, you weren't satisfied as a developer with the sales or the performances of previous games, that you're making such a big leap forward?
It just feels more like a natural progression, actually, to bring this into an open world and not so much linear storytelling.
Okay, so can you tell us a bit more about the open worldness of this game and what type of things we will be doing and how it unfolds?
Yeah, absolutely. One of the things that I like particularly about these missions is because it's an open world, you're encouraged to really explore the environment and see what parts of it you might be able to use to your advantage. You can certainly stay back and try and pick off guys one at a time if you really want to emphasize that sniper mode. Eventually you'll have to go in and grab the whatever gadget it is to complete the mission. But because it's an open world, because you can explore, you can use the environment to your advantage, I find it a lot more satisfying than just a run and gun shooter.
You're doing Sniper Camp. Can you tell us about that and how that will impact the player experience?
I think the bullet cams will just be sort of a little bit of sugary dessert, a little added fun for a player. If you get a particularly nice shot, it's nice to be rewarded. And so that's just something that we're going to give the player to let them know they've done particularly well on a particular shot. There's going to be several factors that sort of come into play. Distance, so the difficulty of the shot is a big part of it. If you're 20 meters away and you hit a guy with a headshot, you're probably not going to be rewarded. But if you're 500 meters away and it's raining and there's a 20-kilometer wind, it's much more likely that if you get that headshot, you're going to be well rewarded, as you should be.
Talk or I'll break you. No, I'll talk.
With the three play styles, there's lots of weapons, lots of variety in abilities. But probably there are also limitations. Can you tell us something about decision making that goes behind picking the weapons that are to your disposal?
Yeah, I think when you load out your weapons, you do sort of take into consideration what sort of environment or what I guess the capabilities of the enemy. There is, I guess, what you would call a standard sniper rifle, melee type weapons, knives, there's throwing knives as well, C4, grenades, various grenades, shotguns, machine guns. So some people will just gravitate towards something that they're familiar with and have used in the past. There's not necessarily a great advantage taking a shotgun over an AK-47 perhaps, but I think as you progress through those three playing styles, certainly some of the sniper rifles, there's 50 caliber sniper rifles, have a longer range, but they're heavier and they're going to slow you down. Shotguns, wonderful, we all know how powerful they are, but they're slow. And reloading a shotgun is one of the slowest things in all of gameplay, as we know. So I think some people might prefer, okay, that's nice that the shotgun's powerful, but meanwhile I'm getting shot at while I'm reloading it. So those are common, I think, across many shooter games. How we use that is a little bit because we're more worried about staying hidden, I think, and making sure that we can hit those precise long shots. I might be more interested in getting a bipod and a silencer for my rifle than I am necessarily worried about making sure my AK-47 is all tricked out.
With the natural emphasis on being stealthy, being sneaking around, there's still the warrior part of this game. Aren't you afraid that some people will be like expecting lots of warrior and they are being pinned down the whole time, or somebody who they want to be Rambo, and the game, when you promote it sort of like that, they can be Rambo, but it's really, really hard to be Rambo.
It's hard to be Rambo, and that is, I don't know if a feature of our game is the right word, but it's certainly an aspect of our game. We definitely promote a balanced approach between sniper, ghost, and warrior. You can do it, but it's going to be particularly challenging if you follow one path.
Now compare the current Sniper Ghost Warrior, or the upcoming Sniper Ghost Warrior, with the previous one. What are the biggest improvements and you're very proud of?
I think the biggest thing you're going to notice is an open world environment. Certainly there's been advances in graphics capabilities over the years. The Cry engine, we're getting some beautiful performance from the Crytek engine. No complaints there. We're bringing in better sound design, better audio. So I think you're going to see a real step up. And I think that sort of reflects what the company itself is trying to do, is move out into the big stage and get our feet wet with the big players.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much, guys. I hope you enjoy it.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.